people shoot for fun. AK47 beat and 3 stripe AK-15.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a debate as old as days, right? We're going to be discussing the AR-15 versus the AK-47. I'm sure you guys have heard this debate for a long time. We're not going to go too in depth and beat a dead horse too much, but we're going to talk about which weapon system is plain and simple superior, which one I believe you should have as the prepared citizen, and options on why you should make your personal choice, okay? I'm gonna give you a choice to make. I'm gonna tell you what choice I think you should make, but I'm gonna give you the pros and cons of each so you'll know which choice to make when you leave this video. If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this, and let's get into the video. So essentially, we're gonna be talking about, like I said, the pros and cons of the AK-47 versus the AR-15. Both of these are semi-automatic centerfire rifles. Both of these weapon systems were designed for opposite countries of one another during a time of war, right? They were meant to give the soldier, the infantryman, a better way to carry ammo and have more capabilities on the field, you know, having a ways to extend his fighting load. The M4 worked for that, and the AK-47 worked for that as well, and it's still working, though they have different capabilities. In my opinion, to start off, to point out one of the pros and cons to begin with, the M4 or the AR-15 versus the AK is obviously going to be better when it comes to carrying ammo, okay? When it comes to carrying magazine, just the magazines alone for AK weigh a lot more. One steel AK mag weighs like a ton compared to like a P mag. A P mag weighs, it feels like nothing compared to one of those. Mix that with loading the magazine, now you have 5.56, and then you have 124 grain or 123 grain 7.62 by 39. Then that magazine is going to be so much heavier. You know, 2 5.56 bullets are still less weight than one 7.62 by 39 round. So the weight difference is already one factor. It's going to cost more weight to carry a 7.62 weapon system, regardless of if it's an AK-47 7.62 by 39 or a 308 7.62 by 51. It's still going to cost more weight. It's still going to be more ounces, more pounds, and more pain. That's your choice if you want to deal with that, but it is a factor to acknowledge. So an AR-15 weapon system is going to be lighter. That's something that it has an advantage on. One thing that I will say that the advantage of the AK-47 has versus the AR-15 weapon system is in close quarters barrier penetration with that round, okay? What I mean is, when it comes to the round designs of both rounds, obviously the 5.56 round is just a juiced up, like triple steroid juiced 22 round, you know? And a 7.62 by 39 is just a 30 caliber round traveling at rifle speeds. The thing why the 30 caliber round is better at penetrating barriers at a CQB or close quarters distance is because that heavier bullet can retain more weight as it's breaking through barriers. So even if the AK-47 round gets broken up going through 2 car doors and a 2x4 and a piece of brick, there's still going to be a chunk of lead that is probably flying towards the target. You know, it may not be perfectly shaped and flying straight, but there's still going to be a chunk of lead that's flying towards the target that's going to be lethal and deadly. Now, the difference between that and a 5.56, if a 5.56 goes through 2 cars doors, hits a brick and a 2x4, it could still be very lethal and it could still make its way to a person. I'm not going to say it's not going to do anything, but chances are that it's going to break up and become fragment within the air before it hits the target, versus the AK-47 round is going to stay a solid piece of lead and projectile on its way to that target more likely because of the higher weight in the bullet, okay? So that's one advantage that I will acknowledge that the AK-47 has, is when it comes to close quarters combat. The AK round, the 7.62 by 39, hits a lot harder or just as hard when it comes to being within 100 to 200 yards, and it's very effective within those ranges. Within 100 yards, it's gonna have way better barrier penetration capabilities, like I said. So it all depends on the mission and what you guys want. Both weapon systems are great to own. I own both of them. I have an AR-15 and I have a Z-Pap. So the Z-Pap M70 is a great AK-47. I'm currently gonna outfit that one with some more kit right now. I'm gonna be getting a red dot and some mounts for it and stuff like that here coming up. But like I said, they're both amazing weapon systems. It matters what you want to employ it for, but it also matters the logistical supply chain and where you live in the country, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So when it comes to logistics within the US or being a prepared citizen within the US, the only simple answer to this is AR-15. You know, if you guys are a prepper or somebody who considers yourself a prepared citizen, you need an AR-15 because the logistics that are supported behind it. Not because it's just a cool weapon or because you need to own one because you're American, which you need to do all of those too, and it is cool. But you need to own one because of the logistics that support that weapon system. 5.56 is one of the most plentiful rounds in America. 5.56 and 9mm are the most widely produced rounds, the most widely sought after. You know, they're very prolific and they're very supporting when it comes to logistics. If you're a prepared citizen, especially if you're part of a community or part of a MAG mutual assistance group, having those weapon systems is going to be very effective and very useful for cross-platform compatibility. I love talking about this because, like I said, if you're in a group, a community, or a mutual assistance group, a MAG, you guys could you guys could have MAG interchangeability or ammo interchangeability at the least. You know, you may not have a rifle that takes the same magazines or a handgun that takes the same magazines, but if his rifle takes 5.56 and your rifle takes 5.56, then you guys are always going to have ammo for each other, right? If you guys have Glocks, that's what I advise when it comes to mutual assistance group or communities. Everybody just buy a Glock. Glocks are very affordable. You could even buy an old police trade-in Glock. Buy a used one, you can get it for like $300. Buy a used Glock 19, a used Glock 17, go run the hell out of it, put 500, 1,000 rounds through it, make sure it's good. Once you know that it's running, put a flashlight on it, go get it milled or get an aftermarket slide if you want, whatever you want to do, put a red dot on it, but just make sure it's tested. And everybody in your community or within your mutual assistance group should carry Glocks because 9mm is very sought after and Glock parts are very widely available, just like the AR-15. It's not just the ammo factor when it comes to the AR-15 versus the AK-47, it's also the parts factor. You could find AR-15 parts everywhere in America. Like, I don't think there's one city, I'm sure there's one city, but I don't think there's one state in America where you can't find AR-15 parts in multiple cities surrounding you. You know, if you couldn't, then that I mean, I don't know if that's America or not. But yeah, like, to be real, guys, literally, this is the most widely produced weapon system in this country. That's why they call it America's rifle. The AK-47 was Russia's rifle and Asia's rifle. You know, the Chinese copied the Russians, but that was their rifle. That was the communist rifle. And then the AR-15 or the M4 was the American's rifle, right? That's why you should get an AR-15, because it's your rifle. You're an American. If you're watching this video, I mean, everybody may not be American, but I'm assuming most of you guys are American. If you guys are watching this video and you live in America and you're a prepared citizen or somebody that's into guns and you don't have an AR-15 yet, do me a favor, go buy one the second you get a paycheck and you can afford it, okay? You need to go get a good AR-15. Make sure you get one that's reputable and reliable though. You guys don't need to spend a bunch of money, but you don't also want to spend like bottom of the barrel dollar tier for your rifle. So getting back to the point, AK-47 versus M4, you guys could get an AR-15 way more affordable than you could get into the playing field of an AK-47 nowadays, especially in America. If you're not in America, then it's a different case and point. But like I'm saying, to start off this video, this guy left a comment section right here thinking that the 5.56 round is less superior or less effective when it comes to the 7.62x39 round. And I just don't believe that's true. I don't believe that to be factual. And there's reasons to support that with ballistic data. All that matters at the end of the day is it's the Indian, not the arrow, like they say. You guys make sure you're doing your job behind the rifle. Make sure you're doing what needs to be done to be a proper rifleman and get out there and hit the targets at extended ranges, extended distance, and use the rifle for what it's meant to be used for. Don't be using your rifle at a 100-yard bay at a flat range and only like do that. If all you could get to is a flat range for now, then that's fine, but try to get to a flat range that goes to 300 yards at minimum. You know, you guys need to get to real rifle range distances. 300 yards is not a long distance to shoot. I could do that with a red dot. You know, I could do that with a little micro dot, a little pistol micro dot mounted on top of a piggyback mount or a offset mount. You know, it's not hard to do, guys. So you could put a red dot on an AK, hold a little over your target, and get minute of man size hits, or a little bit smaller than minute of man size hits all day at 300 yards, 200 yards. It's nothing. When it comes to extended distances, this is another pro and con. The AR-15 is gonna dominate the 7.62x39 or the AK-47 at extended distances, extended ranges. Anything past 350, say 400 yards, the AK-47 is starting to drop tremendously. I wouldn't even say 400 yards, 350 to 300 yards to 350 yards. the AK-47 rounds is diminishing. It's not losing a bunch of energy right away, but it's gonna lose its ballistic capability to stay flat shooting. You know, the AR-15 round travels at much less of an arc compared to the 7.62x39. It's the same reason why the Russians switched to the 5.45, because the better ballistics that they analyzed from the 5.56 round within America's rifle, the M4 or the AR-15. The 5.56 round has always had better ballistics than the AK-47 or any AKM pattern rifle that shoots 7.62x39. This is just simple facts. If you don't know this, then you're not doing proper studies of ballistics in data around the world. Okay, you guys could look at this and you guys could see the effectiveness in both of them. Like I said at the beginning of this video and throughout the video, both rounds are effective and both rounds have their places. I wouldn't want to get hit by either one of them at any of these distances. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to actual distance shooting, if you want to get out to 600, 700 yards, the 5.56 is going to be better at that. Fortunately for us in America, right? But at the same time, a lot of people don't even have to shoot that far. If all you got to shoot is 300 yards, 350 yards, if you have an AK-47 with a red dot and a magnifier, or even just a red dot, and you guys are able to get consistent shots on a man-sized target or like a half IPSC-sized target at 300 yards with your red dot magnifier or red dot setup on your AK, then you guys have an effective weapon system. Like I said, I wouldn't be discouraged owning an AK, but I would just make sure you guys know the differences when it comes to the capabilities of both rounds. Make sure you guys know that is going to perform differently, and the 5.56 is going to have less drop at ranges, at extended ranges. You know, they just have different ballistics. The 5.56 is more flat shooting, it cuts through wind better, but it doesn't do as much barrier penetration at close ranges. One thing that the 5.56 does well though is drop a lot of energy on target. It dumps a lot of energy on target. You know, when a 5.56 hits somebody or a animal or some soft medium tissue, it's moving at such fast velocity, such fast speeds, that when it hits, it's displacing tissue at a very rapid speed, a very rapid pace, that it causes extended tearing past just where the wound cavity is. You know, it's shocking the meat. It kind of sounds gross, but it is fucked up. It's gross, but it is what it is. That's why the 5.56 is effective, and it also yaws, so you don't even have to have a hollow point round or defensive rounds when it comes to 5.56. And most rifle rounds, you don't need that, because rifle rounds are just traveling with so much velocity that they're gonna do you in anyways. They're gonna put you in the dirt. But with 5.56 specifically, the way the 5.56 55 grain round was designed, just standard M193 ball, that's one of the best 5.56 rounds you can have for defensive capabilities. You know, shooting that out of anything from like a 14.5 to a 20-inch barrel that's gonna be a perfect rifle round that could defend life and liberty, and it's gonna be very effective. You know, out to even 400, 500 yards with the proper optic setup and a good, reliable rifle that is shooting less than 3 MOA, or at least like 4 MOA or less. You know, you could get out to those distances. What I'm saying though is the standard 5.56 round, the 55 grain M193 ball, is going to be much more effective at distance versus your standard 7.62x39 steel case Russian ammo or brass case ammo that you find in America. Whatever the case may be, both rounds are going to be effective, but 5.56 is always going to be better at distance. So like I said, it's your personal choice what you want to do with the weapon system and what your mission is. If you are defending a property that has lines of sight that stretch 500 yards or longer, then yeah, an AR-15 is always going to be your better option. But if you want a rifle to defend your house and a smaller property, or down your driveway and just a small little creek area or something, then yeah, an AK-47 is going to be perfect. Like I said, guys, it all depends on your mission. If you're in a wooded area, there may be a lot of lines of sight that don't even stretch 250 yards. If you're in an area like that, then AK-47 is fine, because you can't even take a clean shot that stretches past 250 or 300. So why not use the AK or have that as a weapon system that is in your arsenal for those type of scenarios, you know? Like I said, it's just personal choice, guys. So let me know what you guys think. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below in the comment section. Comment AK. Just comment AK. If you haven't made it this far in the video, I mean, that's unfortunate. But if you have, I appreciate you guys. I'll have more videos like this coming out later on today or later this week involving prepping and gun guide talks and things alike. And I'm gonna be working on my chest rig, or my chest rig loadout video. So I'm calling this my modern Minuteman SHTF loadout, you know? So it's gonna be an interesting video. It's gonna be a chest rig that has a lot of gear in it for sustainment. It's gonna be basically a 24-hour sustainment chest rig with a lot of defensive capabilities, and just it's gonna be a good video. You guys would like it. But if you guys did get this far, be sure to check out all my affiliate links in the comment section, not the comment section, in the description of this video. I have a lot of gear when it comes to prepping or gun guy gear or kit that you guys want to access. If you want to get emergency food buckets, magazine pouches, things like that, boots for hiking, whatever you want to access, I have it linked below in my storefront. This is all stuff that I've personally used, or I know someone that has personally used within my community, and it's all been vetted, tested, and it's gear that I would trust my life to and I would use personally. So I would appreciate it if you guys would check it out. If not, that's fine, but I definitely think you guys would enjoy it. Like I said though, I'll have more videos coming out later on today or later this week involving prepping and things alike, as well as some more short form content. I'm gonna be working on some YouTube shorts and some TikToks for you guys. So if you haven't followed me on TikTok, be sure to follow me on TikTok, as well as follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the @ right here in the video. So if you guys wanna check that out, I'm gonna be having some more behind the scenes content and posting like some, maybe some bloopers or just random little pictures on there that I can't just necessarily post on YouTube, or yeah, just not the right platform for it. So yeah, hope you guys wanted to enjoy today's video. I'll have more videos like this coming out later on today or later this week. And this is FP out.